Hi. So, right now, I'm going to tell you about today, about my day in Ghana, which will be my second day. My second day in Ghana. Yeah. So it's August 12th, and then I wrote some notes about what I observed today, and what I want to talk about. So first of all, I mean, I'm here for school, even though it's hard to believe, because everybody that I talk to is like, oh my god, we're here for school. We planned so much for vacation, and then suddenly it's school time. We're like, really? We planned all this vacation time, and it's actually school. So we're actually here to study, believe it or not, even though it's hard to believe. Okay, so first of all, today I woke up. Oh, I'll get to that. Today, what we learned we went to orientation basically. So what I learned in orientation was that we could audit classes, which is so cool. Like, we don't have to like take the class for a credit. We could just go sit down and learn about it and not get graded, but it goes in our transcript as audit. And it doesn't transfer electives or, I mean, credits or anything, but it does say in the transcript that you took the class, and then it says AUD, which means audit, obviously. And you can just sit down and you don't take the final exam, but it's nice to like learn something new, like if you want to take African culture or some class about Africa, or just anything you want to take about here that you can't take in your institution. Classes, oh my god, they are 2 hours a day. I mean, 2 hours, 1 day a week. So just 1 day a week for 2 hours, and then you don't have no homework, no midterm, just one final exam. So I mean, it sounds awesome because you have no homework. That's totally fun. But then the complicated thing is that like you may not do your homework. I mean, not do the readings or not pay attention, and then you may end up failing and then getting a big F in the final exam, because the way that grades are in Ghana are 100 through 80 is an A, and then I think 80 through something is a C, obviously, but then a C is not a passing grade, so you could only pass, I think, with A and B. I'll double check that and let you guys know. But I just know that A through 100 through 80 is an A. They do check attendance, and they say like you can't really avoid not getting attendance because like we're exchange students or just abroad students, so they will really notice if we're like missing. I don't really worry about attendance because I mean I have perfect attendance. I've always had perfect attendance in college, so I'm not planning on ditching any day. But if you do, just know that here like they could decide not to do the final. So like if your grade's solely based on the final, you'll fail with that, and that'll be really sad. If the way that classes are, it's like okay, so like the way it's done here, like the system, you know how usually like I know at ND you usually just log on and then compete for classes, and whoever gets the classes first wins. Here it's not like that. It's more like you gotta go through each section and look at the schedule and see if your exam is like the times will conflict. I mean, well, it does, obviously will times conflict, but it's not just the time conflicting. Like it's just everything's by paper, and it's such a hassle because you gotta like figure everything out by each, like going to each department, going to department of sociology, going to department of psychology and business, and it's not like DU where everything's close together, or like USA like where everything's kind of just piled up and you just kind of walk a little, or email. You gotta go, and like this school is 10 miles. Like we walked it all day. It's like a city inside a city. It is so huge. Oh my god, it took forever, and I can only imagine the hassle of walking to each department and figuring out the schedule through little papers and like looking at index and the time. But it's just a different culture. It's kind of nice to see something different. So one thing is that you could protest for a grade potentially. I guess you could protest to like get a better grade, like if you don't like your final grade. I guess I don't know if it's with all Ghana students or just us as like exchange study abroad students. And like, what's that word? I can imagine that. Whatever. I cannot think about the word, but like just they say that you can protest the grade that you just think you deserve a better grade, and they will like put a report on it and start analyzing it. And then you have to pay a fee to take another exam. You won't take the same exam, but you will take something similar to it. So I mean, like I said, school is 10 miles. It is huge. It is so big. It's like we walked it all day today. Like I would think we didn't want to finish the tour. I was like, oh my god, I'm so exhausted. I just don't want to walk anymore. It's so big, but it's like a school in the jungle. There's so many trees around it, and it's not even like in DU you see the grass being cut and the nice scenery, like all like high maintenance. And here it's beautiful. I'm not saying it's ugly. I love it. I think it's beautiful, but it's all just different. It's like just in forest. Like, you just picture a boulder and then picture just a school around it with all the trees just like that, just how they are without being fixed. It's beautiful, but it's just so different. Um, Oh, also, like, I don't remember getting into the school, like, the campus. Like, I would need to, like, the first time you see something, it's just all, like, a blur in your mind. You can't really recall how things look or where they're located. It just kind of happens through time. I guess the school, like, I have a little map of the school, but it's just, it's like a city in a city, so it's like a little city here. And then, but there's no, like, it's not, like, fenced or anything, so anybody could access it. So it's kind of, they do tell us to be really careful because like anybody could access it, and like they did give us like a big speech today about safety, like be safe, etc., etc. Which I'll have some tips and probably share them in a little, like not today, but sometime unless I'm tired. You like, he was telling us about this girl. I tuned it out last semester. She got malaria because I guess she said she was taking pills, but they think she wasn't. But she got malaria and she almost died. So take your malaria pills. Make sure you do. Don't be like me. I mean, I did take mine. I just didn't take it the day before. I started taking the day I arrived, which should be the day before. But I haven't gotten malaria or bit by a mosquito, which is awesome. I mean, you would expect to be bitten by mosquitoes, and I have not. And yesterday I didn't even use spray. Didn't put anything on, and I did not get bit by any. So awesome. Anyway, she got malaria, and then she apparently was walking down the road in the dark when she should have been walking with somebody. I mean, you don't know this country, just walk with somebody. And Ghana people don't even walk through that road at night. She walked through it, and somebody grabbed her, and she started fighting them, and they ended up cutting her. They were just telling us, like, just be careful, walk with other people, don't walk alone at night. I mean, obviously, just be very precautious. Like, even if you're in, you can say you gotta be precautious. I mean, you don't know this country, so you can't just like walk freely like thinking nothing's gonna happen. You gotta be really careful. I learned the police number. It's 18555. That is for like, that's the one I'm just gonna remember because the other one's too long. I'm just gonna remember that one. That one's for like all Ghana, and that will like locate me. I just tell them where I am, and they will, I guess, transfer me to where I need to. But it's not that hard of a number, 18555. Versus the other one is like 020 blah 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 blah. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Oh, I learned there is swimming classes, which was so interesting. The swimming classes are really interesting. I wanted swimming classes, and they have like they say they compete with other host institutions. So it would be this dorm compared to the other dorm, and I don't think I showed you the other dorm, but I showed you this dorm. There's another dorm right across me for other international students. That's the word I was thinking about like 5 minutes ago. Anyways, there's international students over there, and we compete, like not just us, but all Ghana students, and we compete with other universities, and sometimes we go out of the country, but don't think we're going to go out of the country this year just because of the Ebola disease. But it's really fun. There's swimming, there's soccer, there's basketball, there's all different kinds of sports. Like, I mean, I'm really excited to get involved in the student life here, like, and see what it's all about. Things I noticed here that are really different from Denver or just USA in general. Cars drive right next to you. Like, if you're walking in the street, they don't freaking care if you are there. They're just gonna drive. Like, they don't even beep at you. They just speed through, and it's like, and like you see lots of people, they're just comfortable, like whatever, and the cars are just like whoosh right next to me. I'm like, oh my god, this is so scary. Like, let me just stay away from the road. Every time we eat, they give us food, no forks. One of the international students here says, oh, I think they're scared of us to give us forks. They think we're dangerous. But I don't know, they just don't give us forks, which is really weird. They give us food, and it's like, they give us like really good food, like rice with potato, with chicken, and then you're like, how am I supposed to eat this chicken with a spoon? And you know you want to wash your hands, especially because you're here, you don't want to get sick or get a virus, and it's just like, how do I do this? Get it by the bone? It's just really difficult. They give us a lot of snacks today, like in orientation. They're like, okay, you've been here for 2 hours, let me give you a snack. And then I'm expecting, like a granola bar, like we usually get, like a little granola bar, something small. They give us like this big box with with a donut, with this like egg roll thing, with this like piece of meat and this other thing. It was like a huge meal. Like, to me, that was a meal. And then we sat down for a little while, and then like an hour later, like, okay, lunchtime. And I'm like, whoa, everybody was like, really? We're still full? It's not big ass snacks. Excuse my English. And then, oh yeah, and then, so some of the things that are funny is that there's like gutters everywhere. Like, the gutters are so open here, like it's just open gutters in the sidewalk. Like, you're walking to the sidewalk, and then there's holes of gutters like inside of you, and like he was the Sam, this guy that's helping us through our rotation, he's like guiding us, he's like babysitting us basically. He was telling us how a lot of people, a lot of students fall to it, like lots of international students fall in the gutters because we're texting, and I'm like, oh my god, so typical of us texting and then falling and tripping. I tripped so many times, not in the gutters, but I did trip, but it's because I was videotaping. Also, some of the social norms we learned today were like, so we learned like when they shake hands, like I can't really shake my hand, but let's pretend I'm somebody else. So they shake hands, and as soon as they shake hands, they like snap their middle finger. I don't know why, but they like snap their finger. So as soon as they shake hands, they're like, which I think is like really cool, like just different from what we do. Another thing is like I am left-handed. As you can see, I keep moving my left hand, and it is so sad. Here, it's really rude to use your left hand. To them, using your left hand is more like you clean with your left hand, so you have to like shake hands and give things with your right hand. It's just the proper way. Like giving things with your left hand is just really rude. And like if you are busy, like you're eating and you have to use your left hand, you have to put your hands like your right hand under, and then say, "Excuse me for using my left hand," and then use your left hand. And if you're shaking somebody's hand and you're like busy, instead of giving your left hand, you just give your elbow, because it's really rude to give your left hand. Using this like so you have to say sorry for using my left hand, and then giving stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is so hard because I'm left-handed. And then she told me the instructions, and I'm like, here. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm scared to hurt with my left hand. Oh my god, it's so hard. I'm just left-handed. It's hard. It's not rude to write with your left hand. It's just hand things over and like raise your hand. Like even if you're raising your hand, you can't raise it with your left hand. You gotta raise it with your right hand. Also like doing this, like I don't know if you can see, like this is like equivalent to flicking somebody off here. So you're not supposed to like do anything like this. Like you gotta be really careful. Like if you want to taxi, just do this, but don't do this, because this to them is like flicking somebody off. And I don't recall it sounding quite correctly, because she was like so loud and I could barely hear her. It was like a big room and everybody was talking. It was so echoey, so hard to listen to. And they have a very soft voice. She had a very soft voice. I'm gonna generalize everybody, but most of the people I've been talking to have very soft voices. I think using your thumb is inappropriate as well. Like thumb is a no. Like there are some exceptions to it, but also like putting up your thumb would be equivalent to flipping somebody off. Also in relationships, do not. So if you go out with a guy here, you gotta be like, if you wanted to be a friend, you wanted to be friend zoned, you gotta pay for everything on your own. Like I mean, obviously, like I would do, but if you go out here, like, and the guy wants to pay for the food, for the drink, you gotta make sure you pay for it if you want to just be a friend relationship, because if not, they will think it's something more. That's what they believe, and that's how their culture is. So if you want just friend zone, you pay for everything. Don't let them pay for anything. Also, never invite them to your room. If you invite them to your room, to them, it's saying we're gonna have sex. So if you're gonna invite somebody to your room, just invite them if you don't want anything to go further, because you might, the way she said it is like you might invite them over to your room because maybe you just want to make out or something. To them, it means going all the way. So if you don't want to go all the way, then don't invite them to your room. Just don't do it. Girls and guys, vice versa. It's just the cultural norm. When they go to your room, it means guys, I need to take it all the way. Another little thing that I learned was funerals. In funerals, they don't just wear black. They wear black, red, and brown. And you usually, like, if you're gonna go to a funeral, you ask them, what color are you guys gonna wear? Because different little groups wear, like, it depends on the region you are, or the type of group you are, you wear different colors, either black, red, or brown. So just, if you ever need to go to a funeral, which I hope not, those are the 3 colors that you use, which I think is interesting, because we only use black, and I think the red would be a really nice one. Things about today, aside from orientation and learning all of that, my hair blower blew up, as I said earlier, and it was really sad. I plugged it into the converter, and like as soon as I pressed, it exploded. And I just heard this crack in my floor. It doesn't work anymore. I was like, my converter doesn't work, I'm gonna go change it, what's it going? And I realized it has this button that you click on it. It's like a red button. Wow, I could have just like put that in and it would have worked. And maybe it wouldn't blow, and maybe the other converter would have blown up my hair dryer, which is sad. But I will not be using my hair products anymore, so it's all curly right now. And I'm gonna probably have to go buy a hair straightener here. They said it wasn't too expensive. I think the girl said she bought hers for 25 CDs, which would have been equivalent to like $7. It's not that expensive, so I could probably just use it here for a while. and the water was cold, as I mentioned earlier. Cold. I don't know if I could deal with it. Maybe, I'm not sure. I just need to get used to it. It's really, it's not hot here. Like, it's been hotter in Denver. Like, in Colorado, it's been so much hotter. Like, when it's hot in Denver, it's hot. Like, you're burning. Like, I've been burning in Colorado. Like, oh my god, it is so hot. Like, it is hot. Like, and I don't know, in here, it's not like, it's humid. It's humid, but it's so fresh as well. Like, you go outside and it's windy, and you're walking and it's windy, and that breeze just feels nice, and it's still hot. It was like, I think 78 degrees today. It wasn't that bad. Like, I don't even know. Like, I was thinking it was gonna be hotter than it wasn't. I have not shown you guys my son. Let me show you guys. Okay. So, this is the, let's see. This is the $2 one. I don't know if you can even see me here. No, I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. Let's see. It doesn't even seem like it's seeable. Let's see if I can change maybe the reflection. Oh, kind of there. Maybe right here. Let's see. This one, kinda. I'll show more tomorrow, I guess. That's the $2 bill. This is the 21, the $20 bill. And then this other one. Okay. Oh, okay, I'll show it better tomorrow, I guess. So yeah, this is so cool. So the dollar here is equivalent to three, like just every time you want to know how much something costs, just basically divide it by 3. It's something around there. So like if I bought a cereal for $24, divided by 3, it would have been $7. Approximately like that. So that was just how my day was. And I'll show you, and I will also attach to this, like, and other videos, like what I did today, which would have been like my whole tour. I would videotape the library, and I videotape. Oh my god, the library was so huge. It was like so huge. You will see it in the video. It's like every scene I put in the video that I'll put next, it would be the library, like a different scenery of the library. It is so big. Oh my god. Anyways, I also videotaped the campus and walking to the campus, and you will see the scenery around here and how things are. I have not talked to people yet, but I think soon I will like interview the librarian and interview the ISET program and interview some students, so you can get perspective of other students, not just me, and get to see everybody else. So thank you.
Everybody, let's go.